Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karuna Kori Vaishnava Tupsi. Amor. Amora Gora Kishora. Amora Gora Kishora. Abedaya Kore Shigajumavane Tekadibe Manashora. Amora Gora Kishora. Ananda Shukada Kunjara Vitore Gadadare Vammekori. Ananda Shukada Kunjara Vitore Gadadare Vammekori. Kanchana Varana Chanchara Sikura. Natana Suveshadori. Amora Gora Kishora. Dekite Dekite Shirada Madhava Rupete Korivea. Dekite Dekite Shirada Madhava Rupete Korivea. Sakigana Sange Korivenatana. Sakigana Sange Korivenatana. Garate Mohanama. Amora Gora Kishora. Ananga Manjari Sarayaya Elasikarete Dori. Ananga Manjari Sarayaya Elasikarete Dori. Duni Vedive Daramaduri. Daribonayana Gori. Amora Gora Kishora. Abedaya Kori Tegajumavane Dekadibe Manashora. Jaya Gora Gadada Jaya Gora Gadada Gora Gadada Jaya Gora Gadada. Srinandanandana Apaya Charanara Indare Mana Srinandanandana Apaya Charanara Indare Ajanure Mana Srinandanandana Apaya Charanara Indare
Wenn ich mich nicht irre. Ramani Siromani Vishavanunandri Niravasana Sakaram Tachiyam Seva-Ashram Nasiyodeva Aramata Sanaya Kirana Nikyachara Nikyachara Ati Govirira Gavapavira Santa Sutta Parachitoya Chavatsamani Nisnasikaya Chandavali Adi Avachayamani Koyabhivadi Arida Ida Charanapayasi Makadi Vinoda Sigotumavasi Sivo Mani Saranam Niravasana Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Arakinamaya Tsare Porititse Shivamina Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मणिपुर धाम की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वादश वर्णात्मक श्रीपद समंदर की जय। श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड मनगंगा तुलसी भक्ति देव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। कंठराग श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। बृहद मृदंग की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। श्री गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे गुरचरणय राधिकाय तदारे कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्तय तद्भक्तयो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतसे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरांगे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रियं। भक्त्या विहीना अपराधरक्षै क्षिप्तस्य कमादितरङ्गमत्ते कृपामयितं शरणं पपाना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दं। Yang pravachantamanupeta kityang tvaipayano viharakatara atuhava putteti tanmayatayatara vinedus tang savabhutaridayang munimanatosmi vanchakalpaturubhyasam kipasan rupya evacham patitanam pavanepyo vaishnavepyo namo namaham. We're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2, Shloka number 27. Na yatra shukaha na jara na mrityuhu na yatra shuko na jara na mrityuhu na yatra shuko na jara na mrityuhu na artihi na cha udvegaha rite kutaschit nartiya nachudvega rite kutaschit nartiya nachudvega rite kutaschit yat chit tattaha adaha gripaya an idam vidam yat chit tatoda kripayanidam vidam yat chit tatoda kripayanidam vidam Duranta dukkha brapava anudasanat Duranta dukkha brapava anudasanat Duranta dukkha brapava anudasanat. Translation by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. In Brahmaloka, there's no lamentation, old age, death, suffering or fear, except suffering in the mind, because of their compassion on seeing the influence of insurmountable suffering on the living entities ignorant on the path of Vaishnava Yoga. The path of Vaishnava Yoga. Okay, so what is the topic here? Sukadeva Goswami describes the different kind of yogis. Yeah. First, he was speaking about the unfortunate persons who are attached to material happiness and trying to enjoy this temporary existence full of suffering. After that, he described different kind of yogis. The yogi in the beginning, who will meditate on the universal form, God's energies within this world. After that, he described the more advanced yogi, who will meditate on the Paramatma in the heart, or on the form of Narayan. And after that, he describes how the perfect yogi, how he will leave this world. And we have read how he will block the lowest chakra, means the exit, the anus, with his heel, and he will raise his prana, his life air. And either, if he wants to attain liberation, he will pierce the Brahmarantra, that place in the head, and go to the Brahmajyoti, merge there. leave this world. Or if he wants, he may stay in this world, but he is free to move anywhere. He can go to higher planets. He can he has all mystic powers, all the Ashta cities he has. He can move freely within any planet within this world, even with any planet outside of this material world. He can also go there, like we have seen in the example of the 4 Kumaras who went to Vaikuntha. Yeah. And they are staying in this world. They were yogis, but they were free to go to Vaikuntha also. They could go. And so in that way, these yogis, they may stay at the time of Brahma's night, when everything in this material universe up to Svargaloka is destroyed by water, by the flood. At that time he will go up to Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, planet of Lord Brahma. So that was described until now. So now this Brahmaloka, or this planet of Lord Brahma, is described here. There's no lamentation, no old age, no death, no suffering or no fear. There's only some suffering in the mind. What is that suffering in the mind? They feel compassion for the suffering living entities within this world, who are affected by this cruel threefold miseries within this material world, and those devotees who live there. In Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, only devotees live there. I mean, some people, they may have desire for liberation, but they are all worshipping God. As we have heard here very clearly, those who are impersonalist, Mayavadis, they will not be able to raise themselves to such a high platform. Only those who are connected with bhakti, somehow or another, who accept God and worship God, even though they don't want prem or loving service to God in the spiritual world, they may want a liberation, but still they accept God. Like 4 Kumaras, they were impersonalist, jnanis. But they went to Vaikuntha to see the Lord there. And by the mercy of the Lord, because their father, Lord Brahma, prayed for them all the time, by the mercy of the Lord, then they became devotees, Vaishnavas. But even though they were able to go to Vaikuntha, they were not devotees at that time. Even they cursed the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jai and Vijay. Okay, so now Srila Prabhupada's purport. Foolish men of materialistic temperament do not take advantage of successive authorized knowledge. Vedic knowledge is authorized and is acquired not by experiment, but by the authentic statements of Vedic literatures explained by bona fide authorities. Simply by becoming an academic scholar, one cannot understand the Vedic statements. One has to approach the real authority who has received the Vedic knowledge by disciplic succession, as clearly explained in Bhagavad Gita. So this we have already spoken about another day. This difference between the empirical method, knowledge acquiring method, or the acceptance of authority. Yeah. Empirical knowledge means you get an idea, then you propound one theory, like that. And then you make an experiment if that theory is true or not. Like, for example, the law of gravity. That one person, maybe Kepler, or I don't know, Copernicus, anyone, he went to the Tower of Pisa, which is a little like not straight but bent, and he was throwing down balls from there and measuring the time. So, and then in that way he formulated the law of gravity. What is this? S ist gleich. No, A ist gleich. Yeah. He was taking different things of different power and different weight, and measuring how long it takes for them to come to the earth. And then formulating the law of gravity. Like that. But it is only like this gravity, it is only one theory. Because you have not seen anything or everything. There may be some objects which may not follow that law. You cannot say. For example, the yogi, he does not follow that law. Instead of falling down, he may go up, like that. Because he is actually able to manipulate this force of gravity. So that law of gravity, it is accepted as truth, but it is not absolute truth because it only works under different circumstances. And on the moon it will work different than on the earth. There it will work differently. It's law like that. But this is called empirical knowledge. You get an idea, you test it, you get a result, and in this way you establish some knowledge. In other words, they say, I only believe if I see it, otherwise I don't believe. So that is empirical knowledge. But then the Vedic system of knowledge is different. It is the other way. It is, one is called Avaroha and Aroha. Aroha means up, I think, and Avaroha means going up, and Aroha means coming down. So Vedic knowledge is coming down. Actually, for ordinary person, always knowledge is coming down because we go to school and we hear, yes, it is like that, and we accept. We do not start making same experiments as who was it? Kepler? I don't know. Copernicus? I don't know. Because we just believe, okay, he did that, I believe him. So I accept that. If everyone just wanted to create all knowledge again, it would not be possible. So for ordinary men, we're accepting that knowledge because we have faith that the authority is right. But as we have heard before, human intelligence is fallible. Human beings have 4 kinds of defects. What are these 4 kinds of defects?
The senses are imperfect, and
falling in illusion.
Yes.
We do mistakes.
Yes.
We think our body is ourselves. Ourselves is our
Cheating, tendency to cheat. Sanskrit, it is called Brahm Brahmada Vipralipsa Karana Patav. You can remember, very nice. Sutra. Brahm Brahmada Vipralipsa Karana Patav. Brahm means... oh God. Brahm Brahmada Vipralipsa Karana Patav. Brahm means making mistakes. Very flatly. People make mistakes, that is natural, and it happens to everyone. Then Brahmat means being an illusion. We think something is right, but it is wrong. then we are having our own mindset, our own prejudices, which we are in our own illusion. We think it can only be like that. Like scientists, they are completely convinced there cannot be any God, there cannot be any soul. So they're just completely convinced, and whatever knowledge they try to acquire, they base on that premise, even though it is only their illusion which makes them think that there cannot be any life after death, something like that. Then vipralipsa means tendency to cheat. Yeah, scientists, they are not neutral. They make one theory, and then they think, yes, this is my theory. I discovered something new. So then, of course, they want to have their theory confirmed. Like that. Or otherwise, they are, no, if I get good results, if I find some new theory or something like that, then I will get money for further work for making. I will get from the government or for those who sponsor, I will get a lot of money. So therefore they have to present results. If they don't present results, then they will not get any money anymore. So of course, then they will interpret the results according to their biased theory, which they established, like that. And finally, Karanapadav means imperfect senses. You cannot understand everything by senses, because many things, they are not just accessible to the senses, like that. Just to give one good example, like the scientists, they're trying to explain emotions like love and hate and envy and these things in terms of functions of the brain. They have this prejudice, this idea. This is a good example actually. They have one theory. Okay, we think we are in this part of the brain is the place of love. That part in the brain is the place of hate, so to say. And if we change the synapses, how the brain works, then we can influence how people they function and how they feel, and like that. They think like these emotions, they are functions of the brain. Yeah. But actually, it is exactly the opposite, as Vedic knowledge says. Not that the brain was first and the emotions coming from different parts or synapses of the brain, but the emotions were there, and they are just manifesting in this gross body, like that. Like if someone becomes angry, then his eyes become red, and his fausts, they become like that, and he starts breathing heavily. Anger promotes that. But what is first? The eyes become red first, and I become angry. Or I make my fist like that, and I will become angry. No. It is like the emotions, they actually result in different changes in the body. Which does not mean that there is not also influence in the other way. Like if you get very tired, it will affect your capacity to think, obviously. This is also true, but still the idea of scientists that you can everything explain all emotions by different functions of the brain, it's a very strange and very speculative science, and it does create so many funny results and like that. So because it is all based on false understandings. So this is one good example how the science of material science is very imperfect in explaining truths which are beyond just gross matter. Science somewhat able to explain gross matter, gross elements, but when it comes to more subtle science like philosophy and like morality, then this scientific knowledge actually is very limited and very primitive also. So therefore, the Vedic process is that you listen to the knowledge from the Vedic authorities, from Vedic scriptures. Because the Vedic authorities, they are not following this empirical process. They're following the authoritative process, the knowledge coming down from above, like this. And that is actually Srimad Bhagavatam. There are some places in Bhagavatam, we will come to that. There it is explained that actually the substance of this world is made of knowledge or sound, because Vedic sound is synonymous with knowledge. That original syllable Om is the original sound vibration, is manifestation of the Supreme Lord. And from the breathing of the Supreme Lord comes the Vedas. So actually this world, Srimad Bhagavatam, there's one shloka, very nice shloka, which we will come to. That explains that unintelligent scientists or thinkers, they think that this world is made of small elements. This is symptomatic for modern science. They try to understand how this world is made of small elements. First, they thought the Greeks, they were very foolish. They only knew 5 elements, or four elements. Earth, water, fire, and ether. No, what is that? Earth, water, fire, and air. I don't know if they accept the 5th one. I'm not familiar with that. But they're saying only these 4 elements. Then modern scientists said this is very foolish. Then they found the atomic theory, explaining actually everything is based on atoms. And they made a model of atoms. This model of atoms was many times changed actually during the course of science. First they were just thinking it is just one, like a ball, a small element. Later they made different kind of, they were thinking the different electrons, protons, they are just... Then after that, Niels Bohr, he made his atom model, which is, I don't know if they still follow that nowadays. I think they even have another model nowadays. No one has ever seen an atom. Yeah, even the strongest microscopes, they cannot show atoms, actually. They're just showing clusters of molecules. So what really is an atom and how it looks like and what is going on, no one has ever seen. It is just also a theory. So then they discovered these atoms, but then after some time they realized it cannot be the smallest element, because within the atom there must be more elements. And then they came up with protons and neutrons and electrons. Then after some time they discovered this can also not be the smallest elements. There must be more smaller than that. And then they're coming more and more, trying to go more and more smaller. And in the end, it becomes more and more what? Wild and undefinable. And you cannot really understand what is going on there. Even these elements there, they don't make any sense. Sometimes they seem to change without any reason. Sometimes they seem to disappear or appear. So on the subatomic level, scientists, they cannot understand what is going on there. And this theory that actually the world is made of small elements, that is wrong. This theory is very wrong. If at all you can say this world is made of some energy, but what kind of energy? Srimad Bhagavatam says this world actually is made of knowledge or sound, like that original Vedic sound knowledge. So therefore, that knowledge actually is everywhere. But we are not able to have access to that knowledge, which is there originally and everywhere. But those who are great souls, who are in contact with the transcendence and with the source of all existence, and in their heart all knowledge is revealed. All different knowledge, all different levels of knowledge also. Gross knowledge, moral knowledge, philosophical knowledge, and knowledge of the soul also. Like, is it possible to see God or not? Scientists, they will say, never anyone has seen. That is very wrong. They may not see, but there are so many thousands and millions of personalities who have seen God and seeing God even now, and seeing Him all the time, because they are on that level that they understand this kind of knowledge. They have relationship with God on the transcendental spiritual level, and they can see God. And for them, it is not any theory, it is practical, and it is real, and God is there, and they can see Him. So this kind of knowledge is coming down from the Guru Parampara. It is not possible to find that knowledge by yourself. This is impossible. Impossible. Like this Buddha, the first Buddha. Now what was this? This Ashok. No, not Ashok. How is it called, that prince? Siddhartha. He tried to find this truth, the absolute truth. But he had no guru. He was just sitting down under a tree and trying to understand to which conclusion did he come. In the end, there's nothing. Yeah. If you try to understand the supreme truth by intelligence, you will always come to some kind of impersonal conclusion. It must be. There's no other alternative than that. Because you simply become confused by so many different kinds of truths and theories, which are simply contradictory. There are so many philosophical systems, so many people who explain the truth in different ways. In the end, you just become confused and you give up and you say, okay, in the end you cannot explain anything. In the end, everything is just one or void, something like that. Sometimes I met people in the book distribution, and they have read so many books, so many different philosophies, and they tell me, oh, I read so many philosophies, I read so many religious books, but I have given up on this. Now I don't read anymore. Then you cannot anything, you cannot understand what is truth and what is not truth. Like that. So if you have no guru, you just depend on your intellect, then this is the conclusion you will come to. But if we follow the proper process, which is also handed down to Parampara, then the real knowledge, transcendental knowledge, is revealed in the heart, and actually we can become realized. We can also understand. We can understand the soul, we can understand what is truth. It is possible and it is very beautiful, that kind of process. But only if we follow authorities. Any other process will fail. Yeah. So Krishna affirmed that the system of knowledge, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita, was explained to the sun god, and the knowledge descended by the cyclic succession from the sun god to his son Manu, and from Manu to King Ikshvaku, the forefather of Lord Ramachandra. And thus the system of knowledge was explained down the line of great sages, one after another. Knowledge is coming from God directly, and then coming down to Parampara. One realized soul can give it to the next one. In the due course of time, the authorized succession was broken, and therefore, just to re-establish the true spirit of knowledge, the Lord again explained the same knowledge to Arjuna, who was a bona fide candidate for understanding due to his being pure devotee of the Lord. Bhagavad Gita, as it was understood by Arjuna, is also explained. But there are many foolish men who do not follow in the footsteps of Arjuna in understanding the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. They create instead their own interpretations, which are as foolish as themselves, and thereby only help to put a stumbling block on the path of real understanding, misdirecting the innocent followers who are less intelligent, or the Shudras. It is said that one should become a Brahmana before one can understand Vedic statements, and this stricture is as important as the stricture that no one shall become a lawyer who has not qualified himself as a graduate. Such a stricture is not an impediment in the path of progress for anyone and everyone, but it is necessary for an unqualified understanding, for qualified understanding of a particular science. Vedic knowledge is misinterpreted by those who are not qualified brahmanas. A qualified brahmana is one who has undergone strict training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. Problem is this world is that so many people, they don't want to follow. They don't want to surrender. But they think themselves as very learned and intelligent and special. World is full of those. You just have to look in any internet, chat, social media, anywhere. Everyone knows everything. Everyone presenting his truth, so to say. And they are all convinced, everyone is convinced I'm right. And they all have this big ego like that. But who of them has accepted and surrendered to Guru? So all their knowledge is based on their impressions, on their mind, on their intelligence, which is all faulty. Therefore, even Maharaj Yudhishthira, he has said in Mahabharata, Muni always has to have this ego that I'm special, my knowledge is higher than any other. So any Muni will say something different than another Muni. They all will have their own philosophy. Therefore, in India, you have 6 famous philosophical systems. One, Vaisheshika philosophy of Kannada. Then Patanjali yoga system, yoga philosophy by Patanjali. Then Nyaya logic system by Gautama. Then the Kama-mimamsa philosophy by Jaimini. Then, what else? One more. The Sankhya philosophy by Kapila Muni. Finally, Vedanta philosophy by Vyasadeva. All they have their own explanation of the truth. This is truth, this is truth, this is truth. Any Muni has to be different from anyone else. And modern scientists, they're exactly the same. Like I studied before to become a teacher. So we had to study pedagogics. And you had to read all these different pedagogic ideas of different people. this is very disturbing, because every one of them has his own opinion. Everyone thinks it should be like that. It should be like that. Not only this, but they start to create their own words. They make up their ideas in their mind. Then to express their idea, they create their own words, their own language. Then every one of these teachers, they have their own language. So if you read their book, first you have to learn their language, what they are meaning with that word. And then after you learn their language, then you have to understand what they're actually speaking about, what they're actually speaking. And because they are not clear in their mind, you can also not become clear by reading that. You become only confused. So especially like Srila Prabhupada, he would go on morning walks and discuss all the Western philosophers, ancient philosophers also. And you could very easily see like the very ancient philosophers, like Greek philosophers, their philosophy was very close to Vedic philosophy. Srila Prabhupada could easily explain, yes, this is this Vedic concept, this Vedic concept, this Vedic concept. But as they came to the modern philosophers, it became so much confused, all their ideas. Just to understand what they are talking about, very difficult, and their ideas very confused, like that. So this is the nature of this material knowledge. And everyone has this ego, I have knowledge, but they're all depending on their own mind and intelligence, which is always fallible. Yeah. So this is why the path, authorized path of Sampradaya is completely something different. Completely different. Because this is not knowledge of intellect or the mind. We're actually following a certain process of sadhana. Sadhana means some spiritual practice. And by this spiritual practice and getting the learning from our spiritual teachers, the spiritual knowledge will be revealed in our heart. And then actually we will attain a completely different platform of understanding. This is the proof, or what the test of, like, if we are following authorized process. Does actually my consciousness change? Do I become a different person? Does my perspective on the world change? Do I start seeing with the eyes of the soul? Like that. Normally people, they don't change much in their life. They are in their own mindset. Unless something very drastic may happen in their life, then they may start to see things in a different way. Otherwise, normally they stay in their own mindset for their whole life. They are like that and they stay like that. But Krishna consciousness is something completely different. One becomes a completely different person, and also the understanding and the level of perspective completely changes. Yeah. You can realize this by reading these books. Every time you read Bhagavad Gita, you understand it in a different way. Because you don't stay the same. You become a different person, and then this book suddenly more and more becomes revealed. More wonderful things become revealed. Then you can understand that this Shastra actually is transcendental. With material things, that doesn't happen. And they stay the same, more or less. And they become boring after some time. They become stagnant. But with spiritual knowledge, it always becomes new and more wonderful and more wonderful and more wonderful. Until it becomes completely ecstatic one day. So foolish people create their own interpretations. They think this Bhagavad Gita is a book which I can comment on with my own intellect and mind. And in this way, they are just creating another piece of material confusion. And people become confused. Like Srila Prabhupada, he would sometimes say, before I came to the West, So many editions of Bhagavad Gita were there in English. Yeah? Many editions. But how many devotees came from these editions of Bhagavad Gita? None. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he called this Bhagavad Gita as it is. As it is. Bhagavad Gita as it is. Kak ana jest. Because like it is coming down from the parampara, not deviated by one's own mind and intellect. So then this Bhagavad Gita, immediately it started changing people's heart. People changed their life, gave up all their bad habits, and started serving God, giving up their sense gratification, and becoming completely different persons by the power of that book. This is the power of spiritual knowledge. So there's such a huge difference between some intellectual understanding and realized knowledge. When our Srila Gurudev started preaching to one time Shyamarani, she came to Srila Gurudev, and Srila Gurudev asked her something about Shastra, and then she told some explanation, and she thought this is very nice and learned. Then Gurudev told her, actually, theoretical understanding is no understanding. Shyamarani always speaks about that, because that gave her such a deep impression, that he said, theoretical understanding is no understanding. Just to know something by your intellect and mind, this doesn't make you a different person, that doesn't change anything. Only if we follow the process of bhakti, love and devotion, then this knowledge becomes alive in the heart. So one has to become a qualified Brahmana. Brahman means qualities of Brahman. Satyam, Shocham, what's that? Tapa means truthful, cleanliness, religious, and tapasya. Performing yajna, surrendering to one's guru, following, serving, then this knowledge will be revealed in the heart. Then something will change. Then we can actually make progress. The Vedic wisdom guides us to understanding our relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna and to acting accordingly in order to achieve the desired result of returning back home, back to Godhead. Just think about that. We are rotating in this world since millions and millions of lifetimes, never coming out of this world. But if we follow this process of bhakti, this Bhagavatam, according to parampara, instead we will go back to Godhead. We will become immortal. We will leave this mortal world forever. So how wonderful is that? So how powerful, how special. This is like a very, very powerful medicine for curing the whole material existence. But materialistic men do not understand this. They want to make a plan to become happy in a place where there is no happiness. For false happiness, they try to reach other planets, either by Vedic rituals or by spacecraft. But they should know for certain that any amount of materialistic adjustment for becoming happy in a place which is meant for distress cannot benefit the misguided man, because after all, the whole universe with all its paraphernalia will come to an end after a certain period. Then all plans of materialistic happiness will automatically come to an end. The intelligent person therefore makes a plan to return back home, back to Godhead. Such an intelligent person surpasses all the pangs of material existence, like birth, death, disease, and old age. He is actually happy because he has no anxieties of material existence. But as a compassionate sympathizer, he feels unhappiness for the suffering materialistic man, and thus he occasionally comes before the materialistic man to teach them the necessity of going back to Godhead. All bona fide acharyas preach this truth of returning back home, back to Godhead, and warn men not to make a false plan for happiness in a place where happiness is only a myth. Aber es ist schon ein bisschen spät drin. Dann macht sie keinen Spaß in der Kurzfassung. Okay, so we will stop here. And Sie möchte gerne die Geschichte von Kailash hören. Ist schon ein bisschen spät für Kailash. Ich weiß auch nicht, ob das so gut passt. Anyhow, okay, so to conclude, this is intelligent person, they should take proper authority. Don't follow any person who has defects. Then you will just simply stay in this world. No one with material defects will ever come out of this world. By following your own mind, you will not even be able to elevate yourself, because you stay where you are if you follow your own mind. Always we should surrender to proper authority. Surrender and follow our only way to become successful in our life. As long as we don't surrender, we can never have any auspiciousness. Krishna says this very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. Those who do not have faith, they will not attain anything, neither in this world, neither in the next. And they will always go the wrong way, and after some time they will sink down more and more and more demonic species of life. So we have to have some faith that God is there, that He is sending His representatives to help us from this world. If we follow them, we can become happy. Okay. Kantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari 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 Bol. Nandam Jaya Govardhan Sachinandam Jaya Govardhan Sachinandam Jaya Govardhan Sachinandam Jaya Govardhan Jaya Govardhana Arati Krishna Vata
Dr. Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Paramaham Sigora Krishna Bhagavati Mat ki jai. Shira Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai. Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Bhagavati Mat ki jai. Shri Gauriya Vrata Charya Shri Varadeva Vijay Kusam Prabhu ki jai. Shira Vishwanath Bhagavati Thakur ki jai. Shira Gautam Srinivasa Mananda Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Krishna Das Kavas Kuswam Prabhu ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunathi Diva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Swarup Damodara Ramananda Shri Guruvata Vina ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Vedanta Shivasari Gaura Bhakti Vina ki jai. Shri Anta Vidmaya Kuva Shri Mata Vikuru Vati Mata Vikura Dik Sanat Vikritu Dik Buddha Rupa Vikra Buddha Vinatmaka Shri Vikram ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Rupa Vikuru Goda Sanatmaka Shri Rajmana ki jai. Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Yamuna Gana Prasri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Lalita Vishaka Tishaki Vinna ki jai. Shri Jagannath Baladeva Dvara Sudasan Sakra ki jai. Shri Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai. Bhakti Bhavati Pratma Raj ki jai. Shao Sampradaya ki jai. Paramatma Chaitanya Mat ki jai. Saranam Sankirtan ki jai. Antarashri Bhagavatam ki jai. Natakoti Vaishnava ki jai. Samagara Bhakta Vinna ki jai. Gokulam Krishna Bhakti Kari Devi Sati Prai Namo Prancha Karma Tarupya Sati Pasandu Veda